Hey guys, welcome back to the Forever World. Last time, we built our Nether hub, but today we're going to be taking things back to the overworld. I'm finally going to be building a tavern in this town, something this area has been missing for ages. A place for weary travelers to rest, and for us to brew our potions. I've also noticed recently that resource gathering has been a bit of a grind, so we're going to try and fix that today by taking on our first wither in the hopes of making a beacon. Let's kick things off today with the tavern though. So I actually have a little bit of a plan of what I want to do with the tavern, and what I'd like to do is throw it between the stable and our starter house over there. I'm thinking this area right behind me will work just nicely, and I'd like to have a pass-through of some sort in the middle of the tavern going out to the lake. And that will be for a future expansion. But anyways, we know what we want to do and where we want to do it. We just got to clear out the space to actually make it happen now. There's a lot of trees here. It's actually one of the few forested areas left in this area, which I would also like to address soon. I want to get some custom trees going at some point. But for now, deforestation is the name of the game. There we go, nice big open space to work with. So coming off the path here, I think we want to maybe start the tavern around this mark here. Now I want to get a rough outline of the shape of this thing so that we can know what we need to design. Alright, I think I'm happy with this as an initial design for the tavern. This will be the main part of the tavern right here, where you'll come in and have a seat and, you can dine. Up here you'll have your bar and your kitchen. And then this thinner section right here is the pass-through. That's the word I was looking for. The pass-through that I was talking about. So this will be a tunnel going through to the other side over here. And then over top of the pass-through, we'll have a hallway coming over to this section right here, which will be kind of like the lodging section. We'll have a few bedrooms over here where your weary travelers can take a rest and rent a room for the night. And yeah, I think that should be good for a tavern. But looking at this from the level of the path, it looks a little bit wonky. Our terrain here needs a little bit of help. But there is a little bit of a problem on that front. Like I said at the beginning, resource collection's been a little rough lately, but we still have a good amount of dirt that we can tear up here underneath the cliffs, so we'll do that for now. Alrighty, I got myself a little bit of dirt, and I want to try and smooth out the terrain in this area a little bit. We're not trying to do anything massive here, I just want to make sure that the tavern is all on level terrain. Something kind of like this. It'll make it a lot easier to lead the road through the pass-through and also to do any details out front here. But anyways, for now I've gathered a bunch of resources that I think we might need for this build here, and we're going to start placing some blocks. So I think the first thing I want to do is rough out this pass-through here. We'll have an opening of 5 blocks here, and then we'll do something kind of like that. And we don't want this pass-through to be too high because we're going to have a hallway running above it into the next section. So something kind of like that is probably ideal. Let's go ahead and outline it on the other side here too. Alright, looking good. Now let's figure out the main building here. So I think it's safe to say that the door is going to be at this level here. Now you see, I'm not sure I like it being right at the ground level here. I think we're going to move it up a few blocks. Yeah, I definitely think that height's a little nicer. We can put a little porch out front, and I think that'll be a nice little detail. But anyways, we now know that this is going to be the height of the floor here. So now we got to figure out the height of the main room. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to start. There we go. I've put a few more posts up to just kind of mark some divisions in the building here. And actually looking at it, I might want to bump this wall out one more this way. Because the way I have it set up right now is we got a 7 wide area here, which is going to be a bit of a higher roof. That way we can accommodate the hallway going over the pass-through. And then this roof here will be regular height. But we got 2 on this side of the door and 3 on this side of the door, so we gotta bump it over a bit more so that we can have 3 on either side. There we go, that looks much better. Now jumping over to the other side of the building, we know that we want the floor to be at least 1 or 2 layers higher than this here. And then we want the second floor to be roughly 7 blocks tall, which would bring that side to roughly that height, meaning we have to do the same with this side here too. And with that, I think we're almost done our outline. So we'll have a roof on here, obviously. We'll have a roof going across the hallway. Then I'm thinking a slanted roof coming down like this. And then absolutely no idea right here, maybe just a triangle roof. Either way, the last thing to outline is this little bit on the back here, which is going to be the kitchen. And I'm thinking we'll leave that a little bit lower than this building up here. That way we can have a little bit of a slanted roof coming down. The inside of this tavern is going to be incredibly split level, but I think it's going to turn out really cool. Well guys, we got our plan in place. Now it's just a matter of execution. I have a rough idea of what I want this to look like in terms of block palette, but I've got nothing set in stone, so we're just going to start placing and we're going to see what happens. There we go, stage 1 of our build is complete. We got the shell of our tavern in with some basic details, and I'm actually really happy with how that turned out. We still definitely have to detail up the sides and a bunch more of the back, but that's something that we can work on now. Before we can keep going on our detailing though, I have to gather a bit more spruce because I went through literally all of it just in that preliminary design. And we haven't even started using trapdoors yet. You know we're gonna need more. Alrighty, we are back in business here. Let's start with figuring out this ugly face right here. Let's do 1, 2, 3, boom, and 1, 2, 3, boom. Bring that up to the top there. It's simple, but it's a good start. Add some slabs on the underside here. That's at least better until we start getting some windows up. And I don't want to do the windows until I figure out the inside. Speaking of the inside, let's actually throw down a floor here so that we can start figuring out where we want our windows to be. There we go, we got all of our floors in, and I'm quite happy with the floor plan. We do still have to figure out the walls behind us, but that's a problem for later. For now, I want to pop up here, ow, and poke a couple holes in the wall. Alright, so we know that we want the window to start 2 blocks up from this beam right here. We'll go ahead and center it here, and I'm thinking a window about that big would be really nice. Now on the top floor here, we're going to run some walls like this, divide it in the middle here, and these will just be some small rooms for rent. We'll throw some beds in there, some chests, and it'll just be a nice little cozy place for travelers to rest. But anyways, now that we know where the rooms are, let's poke a hole in the wall here. You know, that's not a half bad spot for a window. We still have to do a little bit of work on it, of course. But for now, we're simply trying to figure out positioning. Speaking of positioning, let's figure out this wall now. I think figuring out the windows on this one is going to be the most difficult just because it's an odd shape. I think we're going to have to prioritize what it looks like from the outside versus the inside. Okay, in terms of the position of the windows, I think that works quite well. Now, where the problem arises is if we try and do a window across from this one, so say on this side right here, it doesn't exactly work from this side. I think that the balance we're going to have to strike on this side is just no window, so we'll just cover that up. Okay, lastly, I want to try and get some windows on this face right here. And that should be the easiest one to do since there's no floor up here. These are just going to kind of be floating windows. So I'm thinking something kind of like this here. And let's take a step back and take a look. Obviously, it looks a little wonky right now since they're all just holes in the wall, but I think we can make it work. There we go. I spent a few minutes working on the window design, and I think I'm happy with this. We'll put some plant life and some leaves and whatnot in later, but for now, I want to move on to the porch out front. So I'll admit I'm not really too sure what I want for this porch here, but I don't want it to be super huge. I'm thinking something around this size. Do something kind of like this, and then up 1, 2, 3, and another one of these guys on top. And then my original plan was to do campfires up here, but then I realized I barely have any coal, so we're gonna pivot a little bit. I think we're gonna do something kind of like this here. Really? As always, Bear says hi. But what I was going to say before is I think we'll get some flowering azalea going in the top here. Slap a door on the front. And I think that's looking pretty good. Now we can go ahead and run the path over to the porch and divert it through the pass through here. Then we just got to thicken up our path like we have everywhere else. And then we add our coarse dirt along the path here. And there we go. This is looking pretty sweet, I think. Our tavern is now connected up to the path and, well, I mean, there's not a whole lot going on inside right now, but we will take care of that in a few minutes here. It's time to take a short break from the tavern here, because we are once again almost out of cobblestone, and I'm pretty sure we're going to need it inside the tavern. So I think it may be time to head on into the Nether and get ourselves some wither skeleton skulls. Also, pay no attention to my levels, there may have been a mishap while trying to get these guys here. I didn't manage to catch it on camera, but I may have died to lava. Well, trying to get stuff to prevent me from dying to fire in the fortress. I'm just happy I had the brain power to run away from the lava. Otherwise, I would have been a very sad elfie. Alrighty, I think we're about as geared up as we can be for this trip here. Now, the million-dollar question. Can I remember how to get back to the fortress? Okay, I found the cord. It's over this way. Here we go. So the goal here is to kill a bunch of wither skeletons so that we can get our beacon going. Unfortunately, this isn't exactly the ideal fortress for this. It honestly may be worth me going and looking for a different fortress. I was gonna say a little exploration never killed anyone, but let's be real, it could very well kill us. Let's cross our fingers and hope for some good luck here. Giant Crimson Forest is not good luck. Oh, that's a lot of piglin brutes. I'm gonna remember the chords for this one. We might be able to get ourselves a netherite template from there. But that is not the name of the game today. There's another one over there. Soul Sand Valley. And there's the achievement. And there's another bastion. Oh, there we go. Nether Fortress. This one might be okay. Let's go ahead and fire protect ourselves and start putting up some barriers. Oh, he yoinked my kill. And no luck. Magic. Admittedly, this isn't the best fortress either, but it's better than the last one, so we'll have to work with it. Granted, I'm a little spoiled now by Skyblock Kingdoms 2, where everything spawns everywhere in every fortress. But even by regular standards, it's not looking great here. Nothing. Wow, I don't think I've ever seen a fortress this empty before, honestly. Yeah, there's like nothing going on in this fortress. Now, the million-dollar question, do I want to stick it out here or do I want to risk it trying to find another one? I'm gonna say let's try and find a better one. I just need to find a fortress that's more out in the lava here. Oh, something like that. Okay, it's maybe not as out in the lava as I was hoping, but I still see some skellies. That'll be good at least. Spoiler alert, it was not. Alright, this fortress is more like it. It's a little dangerous, but it's what we're looking for. Okay, let the fun and games begin. And there goes the last of my fire res. Oh, and our first skull. I am not having good luck today. Hey, second skull. One more to go. Relinquish your face, please. I'm at the point where I've basically got to stop using my bow because it's going to break. Oh, okay, that was close. Oh, there are so many pigmen here. The last skull. Yes, we're out of here. Screw this place. I don't even know if I'm flying in the right direction, but I am flying out of here. Actually, just in case, these are going in here. Okay, that took much longer to get than I thought it would. Like, when I say that many muches, I mean I spent about 3 hours in the Nether getting all those skulls, and killed nearly 150 of these guys to get it. So this beacon is going to be well earned, but in order to earn it, we have to fight for it. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it's been a while since I've fought the Wither legit, so we're gonna play it safe. Get some regen 2 pots going here, and we'll grab our last gapple as well. Now let's go find a place to do this. You know what? We got a nice open space in the savannah. Let's fight here. First, I'm gonna set up a little respawn bunker down here. With any luck, we won't need it, but it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Make sure we're topped up on rockets. Alrighty, let's do this. Alrighty, first legit Wither fight in probably about a year or two. Let's see how this goes. I gotta admit, I expected it to be more exciting. It's gotta be the grass, right? And boom. Yep, that was it. That was it. Okay, he's coming straight for me. He's coming. I should have gotten golden carrots. Oh, he's right above me. If he'd come lower, I'd hit him with my sword, but... Okay, let's take a little fly. It's a little precarious. How long does the wither effect last for? It lasts a while, jeez. Okay, I should have gotten a food with much better saturation, but we're kind of committed at this point unless we die. Speaking of dying, this guy is back to full health. And he's stuck in a tree. We're gonna take advantage of that. Okay, tree's gone, tree's gone. Oh, come on. I swear, this wither effect lasts like 30 seconds. We really don't have much choice other than fly around and wait for it to go away, because I really can't afford to take a second hit. All right, come on down to the ground, guy. You've had lots of time to heal up. Okay, we've really got to keep moving, because a direct hit gives us wither for long enough for him to heal. So note to self, stay stuck for this. Seriously, I just need to heal. And that's not good. Seriously, without golden carrots, this is a hard fight. He looks like he's having fun over there. I'm just gonna continue dying. Where is he going? Oh, he's chasing pigs. Oh, he's just going off and finding wildlife. Oh no. No, come down. There we go. Ow, seriously? Direct hit? I'm seriously considering drinking a regen potion and bum rushing him. Oh great, it's turning to night, so we're gonna have to contend with mobs too. You know, I don't remember this fight being this hard before. Oh no! Oh, I threw my bow. Oh, I think my bow's gone forever. Oh, this is bad. I fat-fingered my keyboard. Now I have basically no choice but to melee him. Great. Awesome. Amazing. I can't reach him. Okay, we gotta think of a new strat here, because this isn't working. Seriously, if we just come a little bit lower, we need a new plan. We've also got to make sure we don't lose this guy. He gets loose in the world. I'm never getting those skulls back. Okay. Smack him. I hit him once. It didn't do a lot. That's not promising. Come down here, let me hit you. You know, if I unload the chunks, he may just stay here, right? I think we're gonna have to test that out. Hopefully we're flying in the right direction. If we fly away fast enough, the chunks should unload and he should stay there, right? Oh, is he following me? Okay, well, that was a disaster. If we want any chance of beating that guy, we've got to go back with a bow. All right, we're getting serious this time. I've got new potions, I got a better bow, I've got some milk in my inventory this time to get rid of the wither effect, and you know that things have gotten really serious when I put the helmet on. All right, let's go find this guy and do this. He may have taken round 1, but round 2 is ours. All right, there he is. Let's take him down. We've got better saturation this time too. We got some golden carrots. Oh, okay. There's the first wither. We brought lots of milk though, so we'll just do this. Let's start hitting him again. Oh, I almost shot myself. Good tree. Okay. Ow. Okay, this is a bad position to be in. Let's just do this. Oh no! I didn't reset my spawn. This fight hasn't gone according to plan. And insult to injury, I've got to walk back. Maybe at some point I should invest some time in getting a second elytra for situations like this. Okay, it's around here somewhere. Okay, look for a pit with a bunch of stuff in it, hopefully. Ladies and gentlemen, bad news. I think all is lost. I'm gonna run over and see, but I checked with free cam and I'm pretty sure everything is gone. Okay, well, that's a problem. I'll check around just in case it happens to be in a different hole, but I think it's either despawned or was destroyed by the wither. Yeah, this looks like it was probably the hole that I died in, so I think we are out of luck, and I think we're about to get our 4th death here. You jerk! Alright, send me home. I think it's safe to say this episode hasn't gone quite the way I wanted it to. Well, ladies and gentlemen, where does this leave us here? We got no gear, we got no elytra, there is a wither living somewhere in the savannah over there between us and our mob farm, and I wasted 3 hours in the nether gathering wither skulls for no reason. I think it's safe to say that there's not many ways that this could have gone worse. It's a good thing that I happen to have a lot of diamonds in this world so we can re-gear fairly easily. Well, I mean, sort of. There's still the whole enchantments thing, and it took me forever to get all the emeralds for all those mending books. So we're gonna head over to our Enderman farm and at least get some base enchantments on all of our gear. Alright, I've gone ahead and gotten myself some very basic tools here. Nothing too fancy, just some unenchanted diamond armor and whatever I got with a level 3 enchantment on all of these. And honestly, I had pretty bad luck with the enchantments. Today has just really not been my day. But I also figure I don't have enough time to re-enchant all of my stuff, kill the wither, get a beacon, and finish the tavern. So we're gonna do the one thing that is within our control here and work on the interior of the tavern. Alright, so the one thing that I do want to do here is I want to swap out the floor in the kitchen for some stone. Other than that, I'm quite happy with the floor and the rest of the place. And then I figure right about here we'll make the bar, make it something like that, and we'll put up a few bar stools here. Then we'll do something like this behind the bar here. There we go, that looks pretty cool. We'll build up the kitchen in a minute. I want to do this area over here next. So we know we're going to need some stairs. Let's maybe go up like this. Make a platform, and then continue up. So very close to greatness. We gotta move this back one, which means the staircase needs to start there. There we go. Let's throw some trapdoors on the sides here, and let's see what it looks like if I do an underside of spruce. You know what? That's not half bad, actually. We'll put up the walls in the bedrooms here too, and doors on each of the rooms here. There we go, we got our bar in, we got our staircase here, and we got our 4 rooms up here. Next, I'd like to put a fireplace in over here, but we need to hunt down some bricks. There we go, managed to scrape up a stack. I think we'll do something kind of like this here, then just lead this down, a few slabs out the front, and something here too, and boink, and boink. Actually, let's see if we can slim this up a bit. Maybe we move the stairs down to here, then we throw some of these here, and we lead these all the way to the top, and throw a couple campfires in here. And we can go ahead and throw a couch over here, and we'll throw in a couple tables here too. Something just kind of like this. And we are very nearly done. We need to make a bunch of these here, and they can go in right here behind the bar. Then we're gonna make ourselves a little brick oven here as well. Put one of these here, a little something like that. Some upside down ones on the side, and cap it off with some actual stone brick here. Boop one of those there, campfire, and iron trapdoor. We'll put down some smokers as well, and a little sink. And there we go, we got ourselves a nice cozy little tavern. The last little detail that I want to add here is a bit of a garden out front. Just add a little bit of color out here. There we go. It's nothing big, but I don't have a whole lot of foliage, and I no longer have the means to go get a bunch either. Definitely not salty about that. But despite all of our setbacks this episode, I am very happy with how our tavern has turned out, both the exterior and the interior. But between episodes here, I've got a lot of work to do because we gotta completely re-gear so that we can take on our new resident over in the savannah. Hopefully round 3 will go a little bit better than round 1 and 2. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed my suffering, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye!